When Apple announced the iPhones late last year, all the early reviews were positive. Easy to expect as the shiny new phones worked as advertised. However, people who actually use these devices on a daily basis see the good and of course the bad. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that when you saw my Things I Love video, it would quickly be followed up by a Things I Hate video. So after long consideration, I actually found 5 things I hate about my iPhone 13 Pro. But I also have a bonus that is argued to this day that's been around, it may not be that long, but stick around to the end for that. Hey, you, part of that 98% that's watching this video that's not subscribed, am I doing something wrong? Go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know. But if you are enjoying what you're watching, go ahead and give me a subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. So these are in no particular order, so here we go. Number 1, price. Now I know that some of you will tell me that I need to let this go, but I still have a hard time dropping $900 on a phone. I understand there's a lot that goes into making these devices, but when you read what it costs to actually make them and what's charged, it really just feels like greed. What doesn't help is when the rest of the industry follows suit, which I'm not surprised, and tries to make more and more profit. If the rumors are to be correct, this year's pricing on the phones might be increasing for the Pro models. Now with the minimal upgrades also rumored, it just seems like the goalposts are being moved again to make more money. Number 2, durability. Now I talked about the better chrome around the iPhone 13 Pro over the previous generation, but let's be honest, these phones are still not durable enough for what we pay. The answer? Just spend more money on cases and screen protectors. Because of the price I pay, immediately I need to spend more money for these 2 things? But come on, I just spent a crap ton of money on a phone. Now it's more money to keep it from breaking? Oh, of course, for an additional $200+, you can get AppleCare and protect your phone from any mishaps. Now, of course, looking at it from the other side, which I like to do, if the phones are too durable, then people won't buy the accessories or AppleCare. Look, I get it, but making something that stands up to day-to-day usage would actually work out better for Apple or any company and make them a little bit more reputable. So what do you guys think? Am I way off base here with this? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Number 3, 5G. Yes, I know this is not the first year Apple has incorporated 5G into their phones, but let's be honest. Probably shouldn't have happened at all yet anyway. The amount of times I actually get good 5G coverage, I could count on one hand. I will actually stop what I'm doing and test the speeds when I see that I have 5G or ultra-wide 5G as Verizon coins it. Yes, the speeds are impressive at times, but the LTE speeds aren't far off, and my experience isn't any worse when I'm using the phone on LTE or 5G. So why add 5G? Well, I think you know where this is going. It's a gimmick. Haters bitched and moaned when Apple didn't add it to the iPhone 11, saying things like, they're late to the game, even though the game was on a different day. Apple finally added it and shoved it down our throats, acting as if it was the next big game changer. When in reality, Verizon probably just paid a ton of money to be able to stand on stage and say 5G 1,000 times.
5G just got real. 5G ultra wideband. 5G ultra wideband. 5G network. 5G ultra wide. 5G.
But let's be honest, it's still nowhere close to being ready. Hell, we can't even get good LTE in a ton of places, and they want to add technology that needs towers to be closer together? This is just me as an old man calling it a money grab and an excuse to raise the prices on our devices because they have the next big thing. Now do you see why I complain so much? Number 4, camera design. Now the function of the camera is not being called into question here, so don't slip and hurt yourself running to the comments and saying that I'm crazy. What I'm talking about is the physical design. You know where I'm going. We keep hearing every year how crazy thin the phones are getting, but what's ignored by companies, not us, is the stupid way the camera protrudes out of the phone. It's like, do you see this? I mean, we see it. Do you? I mean, it's out there. We know you see it, yet you ignore that it's out there. Did a memo go around saying, don't talk about the camera humps or you will be fired? And of course, I'm talking about any company that decides to sacrifice just adding more camera hump for a thinner phone. Now, there are many ways to hide the thickness of a device by simply rounding the edges. I mean, we've seen that before. In Apple's case, they've decided to square off the design, still try to thin it out, but by doing so, making the camera hump even larger for everyone to see. I mean, it's become a meme at this point, much like the phone's getting taller or adding lenses to the back of it. What's the plan for the future? How about we add lenses on this side so it doesn't wobble? Or add them to all four corners so it can stand up. Number 5, the screen resolution. This is for those who may not know what 60 Hz, 120 Hz, or 240 Hz is. You know your TV, monitor, or phone is made up of still frames shown in a sequence that's super high speeds. The refresh rate is measured in Hertz, and it dictates how often a frame changes. And a refresh rate of 120 Hz allows the new frame to be displayed up to 120 times every second. So the more it refreshes, the smoother it is. Now, I love the idea of a higher refresh rate. When TVs first started advancing, it was a pretty big deal. I remember getting my first 4K 60 Hz TV, watching a new movie for the first time, and it actually felt like I was looking out a window. I mean, the thing looked live. I always tried to describe it as watching a soap opera, but this is actually something that I really wanted to watch. Now, phones did take a while to catch up because technology just wasn't there for displays that small, but when companies other than Apple started offering this, people of course said, look how far behind Apple is. Yet when some did blind tests, people actually picked the Apple displays as the better looking option. So it's really not all about the bigger number, but what companies do to make the experience better. When Apple announced 120 Hz, I was super excited to see if that smoothness would come to my phone. Now, yes, I've tried Android devices that had it, and I noticed a slight difference. It wasn't mind-blowing by any means. I need to preface this by saying that I don't play games on my phone all that often, and if there is an improvement because of the refresh rate, honestly, I wouldn't really know that well. If you are someone that plays games and notices the better experience on your iPhone, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. I definitely would love to know. Now, what makes me laugh was in order for you to show this on video, you had to shoot in slow-mo to be able to see it. The most popular was showing the phone scrolling, something people most likely couldn't care less about. But here we are trying to justify another gimmick for our phones that would end up making it cost more. Now, I thought Apple was going to be different. While they did increase the refresh rate, they did it in a typical Apple way. First off, doing all this would be a big drain on the battery, and we know that's already a major downer. So Apple wasn't putting everything at 120 Hz frame rate. They did what's called an adaptive 120 Hz refresh rate. Basically, the things that they know would look good will be shown at that higher rate. Everything else, well, at a lower rate, of course. I mean, look, it's not groundbreaking like seeing 4K for the first time. And I'll be honest, after you use it for a while, you're probably really not even going to notice the difference. Well, that was certainly disappointing. Sorry. But now, on to our bonus, which is sure to spark some conversation if you're still watching. Removing accessories from the box. I can feel your response, good and bad, the second that I read that. This is really more for my buddy Michael Fire Jr. than me, but man, I can get him going for 30-40 minutes on this topic easily. So what is the point of removing things from the box? I honestly don't care about the earbuds thing. Maybe some did, but honestly, it just became a joke that we never took them out of the box. However, the charging plug, or wall wart, being removed was a real head scratcher. Yes, we were told that it saves the environment and allows the box to be smaller, thus saving on shipping, blah, blah, blah. I call BS for a few reasons. First, you're now gonna need to sell more plugs because you didn't include one in the box, especially because the cable's now USB-C. It was free, now it's an additional 20 bucks. The second, as I stated, you changed the cable that came with the phone from Lightning to USB-C when most of us have the regular USB plugs. You know we killed those cables you include from the previous years because they're built like crap, and if they still work, it's because you probably left it on a desk to charge your phone and didn't take it out anywhere. The third thing, you keep improving the charging speeds, so including a new plug would allow for a better experience, especially when you know that most people are still using that tiny little white block plug that only charges at 5 watts, and people don't realize it. And last but not least, I revert back to number 1. You're now selling more plugs, which means you need to ship more pallets. So did you really save on shipping when you made the phone boxes smaller? Things that make you go, On a happier note, If you haven't checked out my video about the things I love about the iPhone, go ahead and check out this video right here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. You all take it easy and have a great day.